50. Motion against trial law, Nagaland Liquor Total Prohibition Act 1989. Speaker, sir, I am a Christian, though I may not be a very good one. And I believe in my God that He will not punish me for speaking the truth. Speaker, sir, this LATV Act 1989 trial law was first and a total failure. Not only total failure, but instead created more problems for our state and its people. This trial law in Nagaland is a misnomer, since Nagaland is among the weakest dry state in India, or maybe in the whole world. An act, no matter how good it may sound, is not based on sound reasons. Then what is the purpose of having such an act that only brings negative ramification to the state? This trial law in our state has only flourished the breeding of illegal spurious bootleggers and drug menace, and rather than bringing any positive changes in the state. Before trial law, we had wine shop maybe in our capital, about 5 or 6 legal wine shop. DIPR maybe 6 or 7, and then about 8 bonded warehouse. And all the districts about 2, 3, like that. But today, after trial law, how many illegal wine shops are running in our state? All the pawn shop, almost all the hotels is illegal wine shop. Maybe 200-300 in our state capital. Maybe thousands in DIPR, uncounted. Maybe some hundreds in other districts, which we never saw. We never saw. Police people never saw. Excise department never saw. Church people never saw. Mothers Association never saw that. National workers never saw that pawn shop. Speaker, sir, Naga people hypocrisy has reached the zenith, where it has reached the heaven. Who is fooling who? Enough is enough. Let us not fool ourselves. Let us not fool God. Speaking of fast today, after trial law, as per the National Family Health Survey, report in the age group of 15 to 49, dry state of Nagaland is the highest in the national average. So this Prohibition Act is doing more harm than good to our people. 90% of the liquor consumed are spurious and adulterated, which has caused death to lakhs of our people in last 30 years plus. Mostly youths. And lakhs of youths have turned to trucks because they cannot afford the costly wine. So they turn to cheaper trucks. In other words, the Prohibition Act has given fast road to craze. To lakhs of Naka people and thousands are in hospital getting ready to die. So as this act could not serve its purpose, even after more than 30 years of its implementation, it will not bring any positive changes in future also. Naka people have spent thousands and thousands of crores of rupees in the last 30 years for treatment of alcohol-related diseases and drug abuse treatment. Thousands of crores of
Municipal and Town Council Act, which has reservation of 33% for women. And we went to the extent of repealing the central law, and we got condemned of court. Then we passed a law after convincing the tribal leaders with 33% reservation, and people support peaceful conduct of election was held. That means consultation, listening to one another brings success. And therefore, in this issue also, we need a huge consultation of all stakeholders. The state government genuinely appreciates the gaps in the enforcement of the NLTP Act. Be that as it may, simply blaming the state government will not improve the situation. This needs a collective resolution and participation from every section of the community. Let us understand that the state agencies such as police or the excise department alone cannot address this challenge by themselves. This challenge can be effectively addressed only when cooperation is extended by all these sections, starting from the family, colony, wards, civil societies at large. If we really see, few people have actually benefited out of this system since the business went underground, and bootleggers stood out as the major beneficiaries. The benefit going to the wrong hands is a very dangerous thing for the society. The common citizens at large have suffered. There are several examples of our citizens suffering from various diseases owing to consumption of illicit liquor. It pained us to see many men and women lost their lives at a very young age on account of drinking spurious liquor. If we look around, many people of the society suffer from liver diseases or alcohol-related complications, essentially because they are accessible only to inferior and adulterated liquor. Sir, I would like to explain some of, you might also come across the news items recently, where consumption of illicit liquor caused 65 dead in Kalagurichi district in Tamil Nadu in June this year. In fact, according to the source of Home Ministry, 947 deaths have occurred in 2020, 782 deaths in 2021 on account of consumption of spirits liquor, check up with some of my friends through my contact, and I'm informed that many cities are there, many good hospitals are there all over the country. My information about one particular hospital in Delhi, in a year, they get a patient registering for liver transplant. And in a year, a registration is about 100. And this includes Nagas and others. But last year, that is 2023, 14 Nagas had a liver transplant in that hospital and surviving. Those registered waiting for the daughter may die, or they may go elsewhere. In this 14 Nagas liver transplant, I am informed that 9 Naga boys, 9 of them, their age are 30, in between 30 to 40 years. So, Speaker Sir, I rise to participate in the discussion on a matter of urgent public importance on hazard of spurious liquor. And I want to thank the honorable members for raising this very pertinent issue. And I want to thank the honorable speaker for allowing the discussion on this topic. I extend my thanks to all the other members who have participated in the discussion for their views and inputs, which were very positive and very legitimate. And the participation, those who have listened, how we will handle this issue with more knowledge, and this topic, health hazard of spurious liquor in our state, and the evil effects, will have further discussion in this house and outside the house with public leaders and various organizations. As the Nagaland Total Liquor Prohibition Act has been enacted in the state in the year 1989 with the intention of addressing social issues related to alcohol abuse, such as domestic violence, health problems, drunken driving and public disorders. The Act envisaged that reducing alcohol consumption will in turn lower rates of alcohol-related diseases, thereby improving overall community health, among others. This policy was put in place in tune with the circumstances of that time. The statute has been in place for over 34 years and the impact is there for all of us to see. Looking back, we cannot say that it has been successful. And there were various factors for which we will briefly touch upon. Historically and contemporarily, efforts to ban alcohol have been led to unintended and often detrimental consequences that highlight the challenges of enforcing such policies. The rise of black markets, increased criminal activities such as rise in syndicate suppliers, spurious and inferior quality, among many others, which the honorable members, many had expressed. It may be appreciated that the state government can only regulate and restrict sale and flow of liquor, but the government cannot outrightly prohibit individual from drinking, which is essentially a matter of personal choice and decision. Further, it is also a subject that is largely pivoted on the dynamics of demand and supply. As long as people drink, there is bound to be demand, and that follows naturally is the supply base on such demand. If we see the pitiable history of the prohibition policy, it has been observed that the policy had been largely effective in rural areas in the state. On the other hand, in the urban areas, we have witnessed a huge failure. The church has also been vocal on this matter, and we genuinely appreciate the apprehension of the church. In fact, all these years, the state government has been consulting with all sections of the society on important public matters such as these before taking any decision. As one of the members had stated, in the urban local bodies, and therefore these stories and the issues which lies in our society is a concern not only of the mothers or the church, but the whole society. We are fully concerned. So instead of pointing fingers at one another, this time we all come together and reason together so that we could collectively and resolutely address these problems. And make our society free from the hazard of spurious illicit liquor. Rather than judging one another, let us have an open mind and positively share views and improves to make our community healthy and resilient. We respect the views of the churches, NLAs, and public and other organizations. The other day, on the 22nd August, that is last week, Cabinet decided to revisit and discuss on NLT 1989 because there are many organizations writing to the government to discuss, to revisit And so, to have further discussion, we should discuss what to discuss and how to discuss. In this, our cabinet decision, it went to social media, circulated, and a lot of interest developed on this issue. So all the newspapers, headlines, and all the organizations started pouring in, giving their views. And some for and some against, both in social media and newspapers. It has generated a lot of interest in discussion. Like today, the House, our views are differing a little bit. In that matter, we should discuss so that we can hammer out our differences, make one another understand more. Not only newspapers, social media. You see, it's now 6:25, and whole day we had meeting, lunch break. One meeting we had lunch and came back. And from morning till now, no honorable members are feeling sleepy. Very alert, very interested whether you are speaking or listening. Even our officials and the gallery, people who are sitting, nobody is sleeping today. Everybody is giving their attentions. So, as you are aware, in this session, 14th session of the House, in the business list on this NLTP issues is not listed. This session in the business, it is not listed. And discussion on matters of urgent public importance under Rule 50. It is only a discussion, urgent public importance. No resolution, no decision. It is discussion inside the House or outside the House. Therefore, be positive and let us come together and share our mind. In the cabinet, what we discuss? If at all we have to relax, there is no issue of lifting. Our discussion was, it has a provision for diplomats and their delegates. And Nagaland has become a tourist destination. So how do we deal with people who come from outside the state? Only that discussion. In one area we discussed, if anybody needs that district after
to participate in the discussion of public importance on the NLTP Act. You have given enough time to the doctors. Both of us are from the legal background. I hope I'll speak on your behalf also. You'll give me sufficient time. Since the House is very dense, the topic itself is serious. Definitely, it is expected to be dense. So let me start with a humorous quote. Winston Churchill. He was the Prime Minister during the Second World War. In one evening, he approached a lady, of course, after consuming liquor. And the lady replied, he proposed her. Then the lady said, "You are drunk, Mr. Churchill." Then what Mr. Churchill replied to that lady speaker, you know? that I'm drunk tonight, but tomorrow morning I'll be super, but you'll still be ugly. Speaker sir, this topic is very dear to my heart, like another political issue. I was president 2003-05 NSF, and I opened debate with the students group and with the NBCC also. This has to be debated very thoroughly. That was 21 years back, 2003. Today I'm in this house participating, and therefore I wanted to be consistent where I have stood. So therefore, this topic is not new for me, and I'm interested. And I've suggested this debate even in the last house. I'm happy that everyone has participated. The doctors' language, it's very difficult to understand their language, but I think they have also given their inputs. In 1989, when we passed this law, the world was also having a lot of history. You are aware that in 1989, George H.W. Bush was taking over as president. Margaret Thatcher was completing 10 years in the office as prime minister. Then what happened? In Iceland, 1989, they were lifting the prohibition. So it is called a beer day, lifting the prohibition in Iceland. But on that year, we were adopting an act, passing a resolution in the House, prohibiting sale, consumption of liquor. Let us now examine from the legal aspect. They have taught us, they have lectured us from the legal point of view. If you see the world history, no country, no states, Speaker sir, have succeeded in executing and implementing Prohibition Act, including the most advanced country like the United States, 300 years advanced than us. They have also tried from 1920 to 1933, when Woodrow Wilson was the president. At a later stage of his tenure, the Prohibition Act was enacted. Then succeeded by another 3 presidents. They tried. So during President Hoover's time, Harvard Hoover, they were compelled to lift the prohibition because a lot of gangsters, mafia, drugs, business, all this were mushrooming. It was not helping the citizens of the United States. And as previous members have also mentioned, our Christianity, our Baptist, especially Christianity, comes from America. We are no different from them. The American Christians and Naga Christians cannot be different. I have directly encountered, debated with the NBCC officials during my presidency. One of their arguments was that the metric result has drastically reduced because of non-prohibition. I said, well, then after the enacting 1989 Act, what was the improvement? Now the times have changed. In 1989, of course, it would be relevant. It would have been relevant, passing the act, because of the abuse of alcohol. And everyone has mentioned that time it was relevant. 34 years back. Exactly today is 34 years, 4 months after enacting this act. So 34 years ago, the NLDB Act was relevant. But Speaker sir, after 34 years in 2024, it is no more relevant. And it is a time-tested law, which we have learned from the most advanced countries. No, this law has not been a successful one. I am from a legal background, you are also from that background. And you are fully aware of it, Speaker sir. Even if we try enacting a stringent law, more stringent than this one, it is not going to be successful. We cannot blame the present government, present chief minister. It was enacted when he was not chief minister, when we were not in the government. Every chief ministers have tried. Every presidents in the US have tried. 4 presidents. They could not succeed, even in other states. Therefore, in my humble submission and opinion, the doctors have briefed us, lectured us on the health hazards point of view. Yes, that is also important. I would like to emphasize more on the economy. Every day we talk of young people. Our young people, after getting education, degree, people are going outside the state looking for job in the company, which in the recent past also we have seen a lot of people being caught, our youth being caught in working in some of the companies. Those are called fake companies. So how do we engage these people without resources, without revenue of our own? And how long can a state run a government without having a revenue of our own? Sure, half of that amount is our money. Because I come from Pandari constituency, bordering Marabani, you find a lot of liquor shops. Then the Dimapur, Katkati, Kolaba. These are very near to our border. Therefore, half of that money is our money, that revenue. You can enact law, but how can you stop people to consume? For example, my area, Marabani, I border Marabani, Pandari Marabani. There are a lot of drugs, people, youth indulging into drugs. Even if you don't get alcohol, you go down, drink whatever you like, and just get drunk and come back. You cannot arrest them. What you will do? It's not possible. We have tried experiment, Speaker sir, for 34 years. How long can we experiment? You tell me, how long will you experiment? It is enough. Long years, 34 years. I think it is time for us to also face the church. What is true? I may be very harsh in my approach, but I have been encountering 21 years back. You tell me how we will implement. We cannot blame the government. Other countries have tried. It is not possible. And a composition like Naga society, with lots of government, with lots of societies, how will you implement? Is it possible? No, Speaker sir. And therefore, yes, we have opened the debate today. I am really happy that this debate must go on, but I would suggest that the government give some options. Give some options that whoever, the community or the districts or the areas, wherever they want, whoever wants to lift this prohibition, or rather give permission, a permit to open a legal license for sale or consumption or for procuring. I think that option has to be explored by the government. In the meantime, government can also say that constitute a committee comprising of various experts, also pick up someone from the alcohol ethic, present alcohol ethic, those who have undergone and the abuse, and also they can suggest better avenues for us. So a committee which can comprise of experts and also can guide the government that, okay, how do we regulate it? Regulate it in a sense, regulated form of prohibition, in a sense that this much volume of liquor can be sold, this much volume of liquor cannot be sold. So many ideas can come in if we all can put our heads together. If you see the Nagaland Total Prohibition Liquor Act, Speaker sir, in the section 17, permission to use or consumption of liquor in mess and canteens of armed forces. There is an exemption. Now, okay, if Nagas get independent, we will have our own army. That is altogether different issue. But so long as we are within the Union of India, we have Assam Rifle Corps, we have paramilitary presence in our state, we have border security force. How can you stop the forces of the government of India to come and settle in the state of Naga? So there is an exemption where the sale of liquor, the purchase, use or consumption of such liquor in the state to the members of the armed forces and paramilitary forces in their mess and canteens. And even if we enact a law, Speaker sir, we cannot prohibit these people. These are under the direct control of the government of India. So it is the alcohol is readily available. Some of our friends have talked about pawn shops, selling uncle chips, selling juice. These are actually all liquor shops. Forget about that. But legally authorized shops are where? The canteens of these paramilitary forces. Because the law cannot prohibit them so long as we are within the Union of India. It is not possible. So therefore, in any case, there is no mechanism to very comprehensively check flow of liquid in our state. And therefore, in any case, we must advocate a mechanism how to regulate. And the church and individual, whoever are against this, should also give the government an opportunity. Okay, since we tried prohibiting it for the past 34 years, we cannot do it. Let us now lift it and see how much the government can regulate. Now, because of the advancement in social media, speaker said, yes, there are also lots of negative aspect of the social media like WhatsApp, Instagram, Facebook, whatever terms. But there are also lots of positive aspects, speaker said. If you see Naga population today, we were not health conscious, many of us. But one positive aspect which I have seen out of this social media is, these days, our people have started controlling the diet because of social media. If you eat this much, you'll get
natural gas. In the year 1973, during the erstwhile nomination era, for the purpose of exploration and exploitation of crude oil from the formation areas, thereupon, the ONGC drilled a total number of 31 oil wells in this block. Production of crude oil from this block started in 1980. And out of the 31 number of wells drilled, 21 wells produced high quality crude oil and 2 wells produced gas. As per the statement of the then Union Minister of Petroleum and Natural Gas, Sri Tramendra Pradhan, to a response to an answer question number 1093 by Sri Tokyo Japtomi, the then Honorable MP, Lok Sabha, on 7 December 2008, it is certain that from 1980 to 1994, the cumulative crude oil production by ONGC from these fields was 1.036 million metric tons. However, in May 1994, the government of Nagaland, as well as the ONGC, was pressurized by the students' community and mass-based social organizations to abruptly stop ONGC operation in Jambang and oil sorry block. As per the reports published in the Telegraph newspaper on 11 May 2012, the production rate of crude oil from Jambang oil block during the period 1980 to 1994 was approximately 250 metric tons per day, which is approximately 4,453 barrels per day. Furthermore, the Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas Estimates Committee, in its 1998 to 99 second report, stated that the ONGC bet an amount of rupees 33 crores 29 lakhs 17,727 and 70 paise only to the government of Nagaland as a crude royalty for the period from 1980 to 1994, that is for 14 years. From this, an amount of rupees 67,27,000 only was paid to the oil-bearing landowners and the affected villages of Jambang and all Sori villages by the government of Nagaland. As the Commission to be distributed among the oil-bearing landowners and every affected households of Jambang and all Sori villages under the direct supervision of the district administration of Bokar Nagaland. This matter of urgent public importance, much as I wish, cannot be brought to the knowledge of the members of this august house merely for one of time. But I have a hope for detailed discussion in the near future. Now, Mr. Speaker, sir, now the loss of revenue, royalty, by the state of Nagaland from May 1994 till today, from Jambang block alone, will be in terms of thousands of crores if calculated using the administered pricing mechanism era and the boss administered pricing mechanism era calculations. In reality, if ONGC or any other national oil company had continued exploration and production activities in the last 30 years, commencing from 1994, not only in Jambang oil block, but also in other probable oil-bearing areas in Nagaland, the actual production of crude oil would be more than tenfold of the production of the period from 1980 to 1994. Hence, anybody can conclude that the state of Nagaland has actually incurred a loss to the tune of tens of thousands of crores of rupees for not utilizing our natural resources till date. Mr. Speaker, sir, this is a considerable amount which would have significant impact in the economic development of the state. Needless to say that this amount would have also contributed to affecting the improvement in the quality of living standard of the citizens of the state. Looking back at our past experience, Mr. Speaker, sir, and learning from me, and with the objective of harnessing our rich and free natural resources to benefit the state and the people, it is imperative that the impasse as hitherto experienced be addressed at the earliest possible time, and the resources be leveraged